Welcome back into the Sean podcast. I'm myself, the Big Ush. You know I'm that dude. Over here, we got the infamous Mr. Cat Daddy. Cat Daddy, what's on your mind?
What's on my mind now is what did I do to make me infamous? But maybe that's a discussion for a different episode or off the air.
Keep the mystery going.
Yeah.
Let them find that out. Anyways, we're jumping in. We got our awards here. Oh, award updates, I should say. It's not the end of the season. We can't award them yet. We just keep updating them and keep perpetuating, percolating.
That's right. Yes. We're not Dennis Green. We're not crowning the Bears. We're not crowning them.
Ooh. Well, no, Denny didn't want to crown the Bears. He told the media, if you want to crown them, then crown them. The media didn't know Peyton Manning had other thoughts in mind. Anyways, jumping into it. Sean, any differences in your offensive players of the year yet?
Yes. Not the top,
really?
Not the top two, though. Number one still remains Tom Brady. I know it was a little bit of a down game, but overall, he's shown that through the season, there's been that consistency, still performing at a high level. So Tom Brady's still number one. Cooper Kupp, still number two. He is already over the 1,000-yard mark. I mean, in fact, he's over 1,100 receiving yards on the season so far, along with receiving touchdowns. The numbers he's putting up for or as a wide receiver, very impressive. So he's still number two on my list. Number three, last week I had Lamar Jackson. What I'll call pedestrian showing against the Miami Dolphin defense dropped him out of my top three. And it's
so
not
he's
just
taking that spot.
One bad week. It's someone else played well enough to jump Lamar Jackson. And
who's that?
And that number three person is going to be Dakota Rain Prescott from the Dallas Cowboys.
You gave the whole name.
I did. He earned the respect. He may not have the ridiculous passing yardage that he had last year before the injury, but there really hasn't been much of a need for him to throw for as many yards this year in this Dallas offense. And he has multiple passing touchdowns in all but one game this season.
Now, at the same time, so I'm going to speak on this because I got the exact same order in the exact same group as him. Mine didn't change. Remember, I had Rain Dakota Prescott at my top three last week because I didn't have anybody that I thought was worthy. And then Dak showed up. He's just like Captain America. He showed he was worthy. Oh, yes. We dropped an Avengers lineup in here. But, just to say this. All right, Brady had a bad game. He's actually had a couple bad games. But he's played well enough to show that he's there. Cooper Kupp, not his fault. Dakota, if you want to go back and you want to battle us on this, go back and watch one play. It's CeeDee Lamb's second touchdown. So the Atlanta Falcons do a zero coverage all-out blitz. If you don't know what that means, they send everybody but who's in coverage. It's too many people for the offensive line to block. They had two free rushers. Dak is backpedaling. CeeDee Lamb's in the slot. He's running out of his break. Dak throws the ball before CeeDee Lamb gets out of his break. This is before CeeDee Lamb does a nasty move on the defender and makes him fall down. And CeeDee Lamb has an easy catch for a touchdown. Dak has no business throwing this throw. He has zero business throwing this throw. But he does. CeeDee Lamb gets it, and that's a touchdown. That just explains what we're talking about right here. Dak is doing things that are ridiculous. When we come into our MVP voting, which won't start until after week 12, so you got to wait 3 weeks for that. Oh, Sean's throwing nuggets out there. You know something? Dak might be on someone's MVP voting. Just saying. Now, I'm just giving you the idea of that, just to know how we go about this. We don't just like look at stats and go off of stats. We look at games. We look at the plays that players are making. Both me and Sean. I'm not the one just talking about. Sean actually brings up more plays than I do. So anybody who thinks that we're just stat watchers, get off that horse. You can add us. Ush Elliott, Instagram, Twitter. The Cat Daddy, Instagram, Twitter. Come at us. Say what's up. Go ahead, Sean. Give us your defensive players of the year.
Defense player of the year. It's almost similar to offensive player of the year. My top two have stayed the same. My number one is still TJ Watt. Number two is Myles Garrett. They both played really well this past weekends. But for me, TJ Watt still is in that number one spot because he's put up similar production to Myles Garrett in 2 less games.
I get that.
That's why he's up there for me. He just makes a huge difference on that defense.
You do know TJ's going to be falling, though.
Depending on how long, if any time, he'll be missing.
He's going to miss time.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he will. Who's your number 3, though?
Number 3, stay the course. He knows what he needs to do to get into the Cat Daddy top 3 of Defensive Player of the Year. And it's just keep intercepting the ball. That's all you got to do. Trayvon Diggs, welcome back. I missed you.
Did you see the interception?
I did.
That's better than most receivers. It was over his head. And this fool didn't adjust his body. He just reached back, caught it, and brought it back. That's better ball skills than some receivers out there. How many drops did we see this weekend?
We've seen too many drops this whole season.
Yeah, Trayvon Diggs is making catches like that. Yeah, you laugh because you know.
Yeah.
You probably want him on Green Bay as a wide receiver.
He'd slide in as number 2, no competition.
By the way, my defensive players of the year, Myles Garrett, because he's a stud. He literally is a stud, and he looks good doing it.
Mm-hmm.
TJ Watt, who could have taken over Myles Garrett, but he got injured. I'm sorry, TJ. And Trayvon. As long as you intercepting passes, you on the list.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, 8 interceptions through 10 weeks? That's gross. All right, moving on. Offensive rookie, any changes? Before you even go, I'm just going to let you know, I only have one change for mine. Mac Jones is back on my list at number 3. But all the other 3 are the same.
I got
Jamar Chase, Najee Harris, Mac Jones. Enough said, no story here.
Yeah, my 3 are the same as last week, which was the same as the week before, and the same as the week before, and the same as the week before. Jamar Chase, even during a bye week, nobody can knock him off this top spot. Nobody's getting that production to take over that top spot. Not yet, at least. Najee Harris, number 2. Regardless of who's playing quarterback, he's still getting his. So he's solid number 2. Number 3, Mac Jones. If he keeps winning, it's almost like Trayvon Diggs. If Mac Jones keeps winning, I think he's going to end up staying on my list because for quarterbacks, especially the rookie ones, those wins are huge.
I get the wins are huge.
He also
but
threw
for me,
a couple touchdowns.
Yeah, exactly. He needs to play well, and he's played well. And see, here's the crazy thing. I got called out by a buddy earlier this week. He obviously doesn't watch the pod, which he needs to. I'm going to hit him up from that. Because he asked me about it. He was like, are you going to give Mac Jones some props? I'm like, what you mean? He's like, during draft time, you acted like he was a scrub or something, like he was going to be a bust. I was like, bud, I told him, I said he was going to be a first-round pick. If he plays well, I'm going to give him the props. Yes. Do I think the other quarterbacks that we're taking ahead of him have better upside? Yes, I do. But he went to the right situation. He went the best situation for him. He's taking advantage of his opportunity. Nothing wrong with that. I know a guy named Rain Dakota Prescott who didn't go till the 4th round. Went to the right opportunity and made the best of his opportunity. It's not where you get drafted, it's what you do with your opportunity. Am I wrong?
Nope.
Now, I'm going to start with Defensive Player of the Year. Because I got to say something here. Odafe had me a little worried. Because I'm watching this game, I'm like, Odafe's having a hell of a game. Yeah, the rest of his team, not so much. But he's having a hell of a game. Then the Falcons game happened. And Micah reminded me why he's number 1. Because Micah Parsons is awesome. This dude's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yes, Aziz is number 3 for me. But you might have something different on yours.
I do. My top 2 stay the same. It's Micah Parsons because he's continuing to play at such a high level.
Ridiculous.
Then it's Odafe away. He's been more consistent of the defensive rookies. And that's why he's been a steady number 2 on my list. Number 3, he's been picking up some momentum. And for me, he's supplanted Azeez Ojulari as that number 3 defensive rookie of the year. It's going to be Indianapolis edge Kwity Paye. He's recorded. Yeah.
No, I'm just going to say, before Sean gets into it, Sean is going to pull a better me than me. This is crazy. Because I'm always the one to say sacks and all those things are ancillary stats. Where the main thing is pressures, QB hits, and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
As I say that, Sean,
Yeah.
go ahead. Talk about Kwity Paye.
Yeah. This past weekend against the Jaguars, recorded 7 pressures. The weekend before that, actually, it was a Thursday night game against the Jets. He recorded 9 pressures against the Jets. The past 2 weeks, there's 16 pressures. He got his first sack of the season against the Jaguars.
This makes me mad. It makes me very mad.
Why is that?
The Cowboys went out there and took a dumbass Michigan defensive lineman called Taco, who couldn't get nothing done. Yet the Packers, I know he's injured, but the Packers get Rashawn Gary, who's a freaking beast, and the Colts get Kwity Paye, who's absolutely insane. I'm mad. Michigan, I hate you. I hate you, Michigan.
Hey, maybe I'll have someone like Aiden Hutchinson fall this year to you.
No, he ain't falling.
Yeah, he's not
he ain't
gonna
falling
fall.
out
He
the
ain't
top
falling.
5. But Jordan Lewis had a really good game, so I'll give him that. I'll give Michigan that. Even that interception. But anyways, moving on. Let's see. We got our coaching hot seats. Anybody new on your list, Sean?
Yes, compared to last week, there was only one person who's the same on my list. And that person happens to be the number 1 person, Matt Nagy. You had a bye week. That doesn't get you off my list.
I'm sorry.
It seems like whoever I put on my hot list, my hot seats, ends up winning and getting themselves off the list. So good for them.
Except for Matt Nagy.
Well, there's a lot going on there. But Mike Zimmer won this past weekend. Kyle Shanahan won this past week, so they're off the
In
list
convincing fashion for Kyle
Shanahan. Yeah, that was good. So he's off the list. So number one, still Matt Nagy. You're coming off your bye week. For me, there's high expectations coming off your bye week. This offense should look so much better than it did, even the past couple of weeks. So you should come out firing against Baltimore. If you come out lame on the offense and you still don't know what to do with Justin Fields.
Especially the way Justin Fields ended that game.
Mm-hmm.
He ended that game looking good.
He did.
Who are your other hot seats?
Taking that number 2 spot, Vic Fangio from the Denver Broncos.
Ooh.
Time is running out. Vic Fangio, it's not looking good. Start winning. Convince your quarterback to tackle somebody when they're running 70 yards for a touchdown and it's still a one-possession game. I don't know, but Denver is going the wrong direction. They started the season. Yeah, we're done with Denver.
Well, let's stay off of Denver.
Number 3, welcome back, Joe Judge.
Oh, really?
Speaking of running out of time, and rumors have it that Dave Gettleman is on the hot seat himself, and if Gettleman doesn't return next year, I don't think there's any chance Joe Judge returns next year.
All right, my ones. Matt Nagy is my number 1, but I'm gonna admit there's some bias here. I don't like Matt Nagy. And it has nothing to do with him as a person. I've been telling Bear fans for 2 years that he is not good. I'm just saying. I don't think he's a good coach. I don't think his offense is conducive for the NFL game. Maybe if he was a college coach, he'd probably be better. Next up, Joe Judge. Just because you won a bye week doesn't change anything. I get that you won before your bye week, but I don't care. Your team still doesn't do the one thing that you said they were going to do. They're not disciplined.
No, there's more penalties this year than last year.
Number 3 is a new guy on my list. A guy who hasn't been on Sean's list. This is a guy who's probably going to be surprising to Sean.
I'm intrigued.
Pete Carroll.
Who we got?
Now, I know I make excuses for people because of injuries, and I know Pete Carroll didn't have his quarterback. But Pete Carroll has a poor team building, which, if you watch the pod, that's a big thing for me. And his quarterback came back this week, and they scored 0 points. I'm sorry, Pete Carroll. You are on my hot seat. You're the last guy on my hot seat, but you're on the hot seat. All right, Sean. Any thoughts on that one, or do you want to just jump right into top and bottom teams? If you see me stretching, it's because I got a little bit of a muscle pull. I'll be okay.
Pete Carroll on the 3. I'm not mad at it. I'm a little surprised. I think when we think of Pete Carroll, we think of all the success they've had, and sometimes I think that success can kind of cloud over what that current situation looks like. But Seattle is not playing well. My biggest frustration with Pete Carroll is he tries to implement a strong running game all the time when he has Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett. You don't need to run the ball 60% of the time when you got those 3. Let it fly.
But also, he hasn't gotten a dynamic tight end, which he's had the chance to. He tries to get all these offshoots. I know you like Gerald Everett, but he's not working out.
No.
He doesn't have any type of dynamic running back. I mean, he drafted Rashad Penny in the first round. What are you doing? That was
a poor choice even at that time. Not even just years later looking back on it. At that time, that was a poor choice.
So, I mean, I'm sorry. Like, team building. This is what I'm talking about.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to the top team.
Move on to teams. All right, so I'm going first. All right. Teams. My number 1 team is going to be new this week. The number 1 spot, the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh,
They're looking good. They're looking really good on offense. The
oh.
defense has been looking good. That defense isn't even full strength yet. So
No, they're not.
it's gonna be dangerous when they get full strength, which leads me to my
If
number
they can
2
stay
team.
healthy other places.
Yeah. My
There's
number
2
2
players
team.
that I don't think they can afford to lose. 2 on defense. There's 1 on offense.
Trayvon Diggs, Micah Parsons.
Trayvon Diggs, Micah Parsons. Now, who's your number 2 team?
Number 2 team is going to be dangerous once they get fully healthy, and this is the first time they've made my top 3 because I've had really high expectations for them this whole season. It's the Green Bay Packers.
Ooh. Question, is Jair coming back?
Soon. Oh, goodness. Hopefully soon.
So,
him and Za'Darius. Yeah, but the past 9 weeks have shown us that Week 1's loss against New Orleans was an anomaly.
Yep. Just like Dallas has lost to Denver.
Yep, because that's just how it is this season in the NFL. Yep.
It happens just like your 3rd team. They had a loss that was an anomaly also. What, didn't they?
They did. But they've rebounded, and the Texans, they struggled against the Saints this week, which kind of puts them on.
I think the Saints are a good team.
Yes, but the Titans should have won.
A little bit better. Little bit better, but I don't fault them.
They're the number 3. It's Buffalo's getting closer. Buffalo's getting closer to the top, though. So Tennessee, you got a lot of work to do to keep that number 3 spot.
All right, so my top 3 are the same in different order. I have Green Bay, Tennessee, and Dallas. Again, though, just like you, I have higher expectations for my Dallas Cowboys. So, it's a little bit biased on both of us.
I think it's kind of funny that we each have the other team as our number 1. But ourselves, like, no, we can't put my team up there yet. They haven't played well enough.
Well, I mean, that's that fan thing. We talked about it in our pre show meeting.
Yeah.
Fans are irrational. Sometimes we make decisions that don't make no sense. I remember once, just to share something. It was a game. Tony Romo was the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. It's against Buffalo. It's a regular season game. I turned the game off 3 or 4 different times. I didn't want to watch it because it was nonsense. But I kept turning it back on. I was on the phone with 4 different friends at different points of the game. This is nonsense that we go through. All right, moving on. The bottom 3 teams for you.
2 of the 3 teams are similar.
Cramping up like no other.
Slightly different order. Maybe some potassium. Bananas.
Go ahead with the teams. I can't go get no bananas right now.
Oh, fine. The bottom team is the Detroit Lions. Yes, I know they didn't lose this weekend, but at the same time, they didn't win this weekend.
Did they win?
They should have won.
Did they win?
So they fall the spot because they should have won that game against Pittsburgh several times. Missed extra points that could have sealed the game. Missed opportunities. At least they won't go 0-17. They can still go to the season winless, but at least they won't go 0-17.
Did they win?
No. And the part that kills me, just besides them losing, is I don't think Jared Goff had 100 passing yards in regulation. I'll have to go back and double check how many yards he had in the first 4 quarters, the regulation, but I'm pretty sure it was under 100.
All right, you're number 2.
Number 2, Houston Texans. Yep. That franchise is a disaster. And number 3, welcome back, Jacksonville Jaguars. Welcome back. You have 2 wins on the season. Great, but your season is also overshadowed by a lot of poor decisions.
All right, so I'm going to jump in. Mine are almost the same as yours.
Ooh.
Detroit's my last team. I ask again. Sean, this is just a clear question. Yes or no?
They didn't. They did not.
Did they win?
They did not.
No. So you got 0 wins? What's my say? What do I say? You know exactly what I say.
You don't win. You don't go anywhere.
All right, Houston, you suck. Your starter came back and you look worse. You're bad. All right, now my number 3 team is where we disagree. Because I think the Jacksonville Jaguars actually played pretty well this weekend. Well enough. Now
you have the Jets.
Oh, you know who I have. You know I got the Jets. Jets were really bad. And I know the Bills are a good team. The Colts ain't that bad. And the Jets look anemic. I'm sorry. It was not good. All right. That being said, let's jump through these games. We are going rapid fire, my friend. All right, you ready?
Let's go.
First game, Patriots on Thursday night travel to Atlanta. 7 point
Patriots.
7-point spread. I'm taking the Patriots, but I don't know about that spread.
I got the Patriots.
I think Atlanta
I don't feel
might
good about the spread.
try to bounce back a little bit. So I'm thinking maybe win by 4. Something like a 31-28. No, 31-27. Something like that. All right, next
Do
up.
we think that Atlanta is going to get a 28-3 lead first?
No, but that'd be fun.
No.
Next up, we got the Cowboys going to KC. KC favored by 2.5. Guess what? No surprise. I'm going Cowboys. But I'm not too confident. I think this is going to be a really close game. I think it's going to be within the 2.5.
Winning this too on the road in Kansas City, in Arrowhead. I still have Dallas winning just because, like we're talking about in our top 3 rankings, they're a consistent team, offense, defense.
Unlike the Raiders, they can score. That's what you're saying.
And play defense, yes.
But I mean, more so, in a track meet, they can keep up.
Yes, they have the offensive weapons and firepower to keep up with a team like Kansas City.
Not to mention, they know their defensive personnel. Tre'Davious Ward was on the Cowboys before he was on the Chiefs. Anthony Hitchens was on the Cowboys before he was on the Chiefs. Just saying. They even had Taco Charlton on the Chiefs at one point, just to let you know. But
Taco.
We got the Indianapolis Colts traveling to Buffalo. Buffalo favored by 7. Now, I got Buffalo win, but not by freaking 7.
No, I'm not a fan of that spread, but I have Buffalo winning.
All right, next up, we got Baltimore traveling to Chicago, favored by 6. And I'm telling you right now, I got Baltimore exploding that 6 points.
Ooh. Not sure how I feel about the spread. For Matt Nagy's sake, for Justin Fields' sake, I hope they solved something over this additional time they had with the bye week.
I don't think they did.
to come out and actually do something a little bit more coordinated on offense. That's my
I have no
hope,
faith in Matt Nagy.
but I have Baltimore winning this game.
All right, so next we have the Lions traveling to Cleveland. Favored by 10. No, I got Cleveland winning, but not by freaking 10.
If the Lions played as poorly as they did this past weekend,
Doesn't matter.
Cleveland by 20.
Woo, Sean. All right, we got Houston traveling to Tennessee to face the Titans. 10.5. This one, I will take that 10.5.
Yeah. I'm taking Tennessee for the win. I don't know how I feel about the spread. I think Houston may be able to cover that. Tennessee's defense isn't, at least the secondary, isn't that good. So I think Tyrod Taylor may be able to hook up with Brandon Cooks, maybe a little Nico Collins. I think they're going to get something going, but I think Tennessee's going to win.
So you want to know the bet that you have to hammer? I mean, smash that freaking button as hard as you can for this week? Do you?
Is it Green Bay 2.5-point favorites at Minnesota?
Yes. Give Green Bay that 2.5 and make it 10. Dallas beat Minnesota without their quarterback by 4.
I
Green Bay's
know.
gonna have
I know.
their quarterback.
It's Aaron Rodgers versus Mike Zimmer, though. Mike Zimmer plays
In a dome.
Plays the Packers a little different. They got the Packers winning.
In a dome.
I think they're going to cover the spread. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Another bet. I say smash as hard as you can. The Miami Dolphins is traveling to East Rutherford to face the Jets. Miami favored by 3. Man, Miami's going to win by more than 3.
I got Miami. Yep.
Here's one that I'm worried about. Avoid this one as far as possible if you are betting money. The New Orleans Saints travel to Philadelphia to face the Eagles. Philly favored by 1.5. Do not touch this game. I got the Saints winning. Actually, no. I don't know. I'm going to take the Saints because I can't take the Eagles. But I would not be surprised if the Eagles win this game.
I got the Saints winning this one. I like their defense. I like their defense more than I like Jalen
But this
Hurts.
is the game you don't like, right?
Yeah, no. I'm not a fan of this game.
Thought so. All right, now we got Washington football team traveling to Carolina.
Speaking of games I'm not a fan of.
But this line, I agree with. Carolina favored by 3.5. I got Carolina winning, but I think it's going to be by 3. So I think that it's going to be under the 3.5.
I got Carolina winning this one too. Ron Rivera returns to Carolina, but he's not walking away with the victory.
This is somebody else's revenge game. You know whose revenge game this is, right?
Let's see. Is this Curtis Samuel? Is it going to be Cam Newton against Ron Rivera? What do we got?
Come on now. Who's starting for the Carolina Panthers? This is a Cam Newton revenge game.
That's what I said. Cam Newton
Revenge.
against Ron Rivera. Yeah.
This is revenge on everyone for Cam Newton. Cam Newton's like, forget the Panthers. Forget Ron Rivera. I'm getting everyone. You didn't sign me in Washington. Ron Rivera, you said that I wasn't worth it? Carolina, you thought that you could let me go? I'm going to show everybody that Cam Newton is still Cam Newton. Now, note to everybody, I never actually liked Cam Newton. But I think Cam's going to go off. All right, next up. We got San Francisco traveling to Jacksonville. Line is 6.5. I actually think the line is too much. I think Jacksonville's going to play San Francisco close, but San Francisco's going to win.
You know, it's such a topsy-turvy, upside-down, wacky, weird season this has been. It wouldn't surprise me if Jacksonville won this game, depending on which San Francisco team wanted to show up on Sunday. But I am, for some reason, going to pick San Francisco to win. Hopefully they don't disappoint me.
George Kittle.
Deebo Samuel. Yeah.
George Kittle and Deebo.
It's like the poor man's version.
All about Brandon Ayuk.
Brandon who? Brandon Doghouse? Yeah.
No, he's been getting catches lately. Anyways, moving on. We got the Bengals traveling to Las Vegas to face the Raiders. This is the funniest line I've seen so far this week. The Bengals are favored by 1.
Smash.
Take this bet. The Bengals will win this game.
Yep.
Jamar Chase gonna go off. All right, next up we got the Arizona Cardinals traveling to Seattle, face the Seahawks. I'm just gonna say this. I don't like this game. I don't care what the spread is. I don't like this game. If Kyler Murray plays, Arizona wins. If Kyler Murray doesn't play, Arizona loses. As simple as that.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said.
All right, next up, we got Pittsburgh traveling to LA to face the Chargers. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care if Ben Roethlisberger does play. But apparently the Pittsburgh got a lot of players out. But so does the Chargers. I'm still taking the Chargers because who's the better quarterback? Enough said.
Justin Herbert over Mason Rudolph. It's
Justin Herbert, Ben Roethlisberger. Who's the better quarterback?
Justin Herbert.
Enough said. Last game of the week. Monday Night Football. Giants going against the Buccaneers in Tampa. 11 is the spread. I do not like that spread with how Tampa's played recently. The Giants, in my opinion, are a better team than their record. They've played well. Daniel Jones has played well. The defense has played well. I got the Bucs still winning this game, but not by 11.
No, I agree with a lot of that too. Could New York be better? Yeah, they've been hit with injuries so much this season, especially the offensive playmakers.
Apparently Saquon can play in this game.
We'll see. We'll see.
All
But
right.
Tampa Bay has to get right with this one.
All right. Now, that being said, Sean, hey, words of wisdom.
Yes. You need potassium. Go have a banana. Put in a smoothie if you have to.
I'm feeling okay now.
Okay.
We got bananas downstairs. Actually, I think we might have made banana bread, so.
Close enough.
That being said, my words of wisdom. Never run when your foot's asleep. It's just bad news, trust me, I know.